Amid spiraling Iran-US war fears, is a NATO fighter jet suddenly in trouble, highlighting just how fragile Western air power can be when even routine drills go wrong? Is a key European nation's warplane being forced to ground itself just as Trump, Mojtaba tensions flare again, raising awkward questions about NATO's readiness in a real crisis? Did a Greek F-16 drill go badly wrong when the fighter had to make an emergency diversion, turning a standard training sortie into a high-stakes incident on the runway? As Mojtaba's missiles arc over Gulf skies in war games and threats, is NATO looking unprepared to help the United States, with its own jets struggling to stay mission-ready? On July 9th, a Greek F-16 fighter jet reportedly had to make an emergency landing on the island of Zakynthos, after a serious in-flight problem forced the pilot to divert. The Hellenic Air Force said the aircraft developed a mechanical malfunction mid-flight, turning a planned exercise mission into an unplanned emergency. Reports said the F-16 had taken off from Araxos airbase to take part in a military exercise, before the fault appeared while it was still in the training area. According to local outlet Proto-Thema, the pilot declared an in-flight emergency and diverted to Zakynthos Airport, guiding the jet down under intense pressure. Initial reports confirmed that the pilot was safe after successfully landing the fighter jet, bringing the emergency to an end without loss of life. Upon touchdown, flames reportedly erupted beneath the fuselage, prompting emergency crews to rush in and douse the fire before it could spread or cause an explosion. Authorities are now assessing the aircraft, amid reports of a possible landing gear failure that may have triggered the sudden diversion. The fighter belongs to Greece's 116th Combat Wing, which is based at Araxos Air Base and regularly flies training and NATO-linked missions over the region. The incident unfolded as U.S. Iran military tensions remained high across the Gulf region, underscoring how even NATO allies are juggling drills and readiness under growing strain. Iran's IRGC said its naval and aerospace forces carried out a joint missile and drone operation on July 8, describing it as a coordinated strike against U.S. military positions in the Gulf. The IRGC claimed the operation targeted multiple U.S. military bases across Kuwait and Bahrain, saying the attacks were aimed at key American military infrastructure in the region. The statement identified Camp Arif Jan and Ali Al Salem Air Base as the primary U.S. military installations targeted during the operation inside Kuwait. The IRGC also claimed it struck Jaffa Naval Base and Sheikh Issa Air Base in Bahrain as part of the same coordinated missile and drone assault. Iran's elite force claimed the attacks hit key infrastructure and operational facilities inside the targeted U.S. military bases, though the claims remain independently unverified. The IRGC said the operation demonstrated that American military bases across the wider region remain within the range of Iran's missile and drone capabilities. CENTCOM said U.S. forces carried out strikes on about 90 Iranian military targets along the country's coastline in a separate operation targeting Tehran's military infrastructure. The U.S. military said the strikes were intended to reduce Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping and maritime security in the Strait of Hormuz. According to the U.S., the operation targeted Iranian air defense systems and coastal surveillance assets used to monitor and support military activity along the Gulf coastline. U.S. officials said the strikes also hit missile and drone storage sites, naval capabilities, and military logistics hubs as part of a broader campaign against Iran's coastal forces. U.S. CENTCOM said, and I quote, U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, forces completed an additional round of strikes against Iran, July 8th, to further degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping and innocent civilian mariners in the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces struck approximately 90 Iranian military targets including air defense systems, coastal surveillance assets, missile and drone storage sites, naval capabilities, and military logistics infrastructure along Iran's coastline. The latest strikes follow successful execution of offensive strikes in Iran the night before. CENTCOM forces hit approximately 80 Iranian military targets July 7th, including more than 60 Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps small boats. To impose heavy costs for Iran violating the ceasefire by attacking 3 commercial vessels navigating the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. forces remain vigilant, lethal, and prepared to execute operations directed by the Commander-in-Chief. Unquote. The United States has launched another wave of strikes inside Iran, as powerful explosions were reported across several cities in the country's south. President Donald Trump says he personally ordered fresh retaliation after Iran targeted commercial shipping in the region. Iran has once again come under U.S. attack, as Donald Trump warns that every future Iranian strike will be met with an even harsher response. Explosions have rocked Bushehr and Jask, with reports suggesting fresh U.S. military action deep inside southern Iran. Donald Trump has now vowed a 20-to-1 retaliation policy, promising overwhelming force for every Iranian attack.
We just hit them very hard, and I say we hit them 20-to-1. Every time they hit us, we're going to hit them 20. And we did it last night. They did a little something today, but it was really retribution for last night. They hit actually 3 boats, not 2. And when they hit, we hit back much harder.
Are we returning to a full-scale military conflict, sir?
I don't know. I don't know. We'd win it very quickly. It's another way of doing it. We have many ways we can win, but we've already won militarily. They have very little. They have very little left, and they want to make a deal so badly. They called a little while ago. They want to make a deal so badly. I just don't know if they're worthy of making a deal. I don't know that they're going to honor the deal. That's the problem.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.